Hey, so we're starting the next project over here in Iowa, and it is a New Holland sprayer with aluminum booms. The aluminum booms present a unique situation for us in that we've got the only coating that is designed for aluminum, and it's called Alumacoat. It's by Rohr. Alumacoat acts as a base layer foundation to be able to put ceramic on top of it, because traditionally ceramic does not stick to aluminum. In a nutshell, the Alumacoat will go on the aluminum, and it needs to dwell for a while, period of 8 to 12 minutes-ish, depending on humidity and temperature, and it's kind of one of those things you have to get a feel for it for a little while. We can reasonably expect up to 24 months of protection on these booms. And then as you can see, it's a front rack sprayer, not so dissimilar to, let's say, the Haggy. New Holland's got this contrast of gloss blue with gloss black. It kind of looks pretty good. Yeah, I like it. You will see us post videos periodically of what stage we're at and let you kind of check it all out. Great place to start is these booms. So we got the boom arms. This is what supports the weight of the plumbing for the chemicals to go out and be sprayed in the fields. These boom arms are consistently coated and saturated in just really aggressive chemicals. Aggressive, they are corrosive, they destroy paint. Why coat raw aluminum? Aluminum still corrodes and chemicals still attack aluminum. It just presents differently. And then we'll move over into this front rack here. So we've got an interesting setup here. We've got more aluminum, which of course this has been Alumacoated, and then we've got raw steel without paint. The only thing we can do is prep it and put egg coating on it and see how it works out. So we've got the support bracket. First, you see anywhere there's a weld, all of that is gonna get sprayed. And of course, frame rails, right? Looks like an ECU there, and if there is any exposed connectors like this, they get shot with ceramic too. Same with the insides of all brackets. Same with all these fittings up here. Extension assembly that positions these wheels out further from the body. Hey everybody, Bruce here with BK Mobile Detailing, and we spent a few minutes kind of exposing processes and procedures and maybe a little bit informational about ceramic coating via spray gun. The coating that we use Rohr Agriculture Ceramic Coating. This coating was designed from the ground up as a two-part system. You've got step 1 and step 2. This coating was created and benchmarked against pure undiluted UAN 32. You got nitrogen that is run through these sprayers, being the most caustic and corrosive environment that paint in the agriculture setting must endure. So creating a coating that could withstand that for multiple years would then envelop all things agriculture. So it was designed for single stage paint. It works on base clear coat systems, but its designated purpose, that at least the agriculture coating was used for our industrial settings. It was also designed to be sprayed on as well. So we apply it by hand on all the large flat surfaces, think body panel, glass, roof, faces of wheels. But when we get into more intricate areas like covering welds, traditionally when you would ceramic coat over a weld, you've got texture to that weld, and so you can rest pretty confidently that you would get ceramic on the top of the weld, but not necessarily down in the valleys of the weld. Think also around lug nuts on the faces of wheels. You can wrap ceramic around that pretty well, and we still do as best as we can by hand, but you can't guarantee that you've gotten ceramic around that whole lug nut or the lug nut seats to the face of the wheel. But you can spray it, and then you can guarantee that you've got ceramic on all of those surfaces. So again, this is primarily the coating that we use on everything. Also use other Rohr coatings. They're base hardener for certain applications. We use their Alumacoat as well. And if you've got highly polished aluminum, it takes a lot of constant work it is always going through the oxidative process. I've been working on these aluminum booms, getting them prepped and aluminum coated, and still working on them because, well, gosh, it takes a long time to do a sprayer. But I'm gonna sneak around and surprise Heath and see what he's doing. Looks like he is taking a rinseless wash solution to clean up the insides of these chassis covers. We will ceramic coat the outsides for posterity just because we ceramic coat everything, but the insides is where you would need the coating the most, because if you look up underneath here, there is a lot of plumbing, and then there's a lot of areas where the chemicals from the sprayer is gonna drip down, and when you wash the sprayer, everything is gonna drip down onto the inside of these panels. Having them ceramic coated will allow the chemicals to be washed off significantly easier. Once all this is coated, we've got corrosion protection against all of these surfaces. So Heath is wiping and prepping away, because again, sprayers take a long time. So the gun that we run is Iwata LPH 80. The tank here, it's California Air Tools. This is set at 40 PSI. And then we've also got a right before the gun regulator, and then we've got a knuckle right there to help us with some of these angles that we need to hit when we're spraying. This regulator is set at 30, and coming out of the gun is around that 10 to 12 to 15 PSI, and then adjusting our flow rate here to kind of get the distance shot that we need. We've got airflow rate, and then we've got ceramic flow rate here, and then our splay angle of the mist is going to be set as low as possible because we're doing fine detail work. So this is our setup. You can run this on much smaller air compressors too as well. Think of the ones you can just pick up with a hand, right? We use this one primarily because we also blow out a lot of surfaces. Think we're working on farms, everything's dusty. So we use this compressor a lot just with the simple blowgun on a hose, and we're constantly blowing out these areas. I'm just running a 3M face shield with particulate filters on it. I'm gonna pause this one and get us over to our next shot. So this is the engine and pumping compartment for New Holland SP410F sprayer. And to give you some perspective on it, we've got a wheel there and tank. And we've already prepped this area, and we've already actually ceramic coated a bunch of it by hand. As you can see, we've got a lot of complex corners inside heads of bolts. There are bolts and fittings on these sprayers everywhere. There's no way that you would be able to get a decent amount of coverage by doing it by hand. Go ahead and get the gun all set up, put some ceramic in it, and then we're gonna start shooting. Well, you'll have to bear with the noise. Every shop that we work in is a customer's location, and this shop is filled with tons of equipment. So you're gonna hear a lot of background noise. I'll try and kick up my voice when it's going on so you can still hear me. We've got the engine compartment here, and kind of systematically I'm just gonna work my way through left to right, up and down, right? So I've got the welds here that I want to pay attention to, and then I'm just systematically going to be working through everything that I can get. So I shot this whole side of the engine bay, and I guess I never hit play. It caught all of my talking before spraying, and then I go to review the video, and it's not there. So I think there's a workaround. I'm just going to have to shoot it from another side, but I'll give you a quick, just show you what we did. I guess there's the after product. You'll see a little bit of shiny on the main pumping mechanism, but otherwise it probably wouldn't be able to see much. It really sucks. I thought the lighting was really good to be able to capture a lot of that spray. I was seeing it really, really well. But I'm gonna try and set the camera up on my fender over here to the right and then shoot this other side. So let me turn this camera around here. All of this was sprayed, and then overspray was wiped, and then you can see a little bit of the shiny on this black over here. So this whole side was taken care of, and the underneath, and all the way back in there. And then I hit these welds again, and these welds down here, and all these bolts, and then I've started carrying up into this center bar again. I don't know, piece of metal right here. These bolts right there. So I'm gonna shoot the tops of this whole area all the way back, and then this face of everything. So I'm gonna set up the camera again in a different spot and ensure that I have it running before I try it again. So so much for my first YouTube video being a home run. All right, so we got the next angle shot here set up, and again, to give you some perspective, we're just on the other side of the pump. So there's the body panel with the pan around, and there's the tank, and then there's the front, there's the cab section over there. We'll see what we can get. So, I'll show you what was used. I'm not sure if the camera could pick that up, but it has dropped some, but not a whole lot. You don't go through a lot of product when you're spraying, but again, you're also intentional with it. You're not fogging out the whole engine bay, right? That doesn't help us. That's not intentionally spraying it where we need to spray, and we need to spray it intentionally where we can't get our hands, because otherwise everything else is already been coated. So, inside and down, there's going to be access panels that we're going to get from underneath, where we can get a whole lot more real estate from underneath, as well as we can lift the top of this roof up there. You probably can't see it from your angle, and I can't change the phone where I'm at. You can lift that hood up, and then you can get down from the top. We're not going to be going down from the top on this one. We're going to be going up from the bottom. So this is all that side that we just did. Bottom side of the engine compartment that we're working on. For more perspective, there's the side, and so we're just going directly underneath here. Okay, and there's a lot of surfaces under here that we never have been able to ceramic coat in the past, so they're gonna, in here, still gonna get a significant amount of chemical overspray, but then you also have the fluids that run through the engine as well, and so should we break any number of lines in here, whether it be fuel or oil or hydraulic or chemicals or just any one of the fluids, antifreeze, look at that radiator here, any one of these things is just going to spray all over the inside of this engine compartment. So if it were ceramic coated, that would make it significantly easier to clean off and get looking right, and just protect less chemicals from being on the paint. Moving from the engine bay down towards the cab along the frame rail. So from perspective, this is where we just were, and now we're going to work at this section where multiple lines couple with others, and the customer has had a lot of issues with just chemical residue buildup, corrosion on these fittings from his other sprayers. So we're gonna spray all this with ceramic coating, and we're gonna kind of get it behind the fittings onto the frame rails. We've already coated the frame rails by hand, and then there is going to be some overspray that happens, so we're going to have to wipe all that up just so the frame rails look nice and shiny like they do right now. And then there is some welds right along in here, along this line, and then where the two pieces of frame meet each other and couple together along this center line. We're gonna be intentional and spray in there as well. I'm gonna put on my mask and just get rocking and rolling. So I think I told you, but we also ceramic coat mirrors and glass as well as all the lights. So here we're at the cap section, just up on the platform. If you catch a view of the platform, you'll see that it's dusty because it's the very last thing that we ceramic coat. So it hasn't been coated yet, but it is just about to get coated. There's the top of the roof as well as the rotating ambers, and the sensor, stainless steel tank. And we've got a little catwalk area in here, and that's also going to get coated. A quick little before and after of what these platforms look like. I'm in the process of backing my way out. I'm coating them as I go. Finally this sprayer is all done. So this was a new fresh delivery to the customer, a New Holland SP410 sprayer, and he wanted everything done. And normally we cover everything, but he wanted engine components done, which we don't normally do. And he wanted the center stainless steel tank coated, so we don't normally do that. And then he stressed on multiple occasions the urgency for wanting every fitting and nothing overlooked. This ended up taking us 5 days. Ideally, a sprayer would take us about three and a quarter days. This took us 5. We were throwing a little bit of a curveball with the aluminum booms. Not a big deal, but just not something that we were planning on seeing. But we did. Cool. So we got 4 coats of ceramic on the boom, 2 Alumicoat, and then two Roar agriculture ceramic coating. This whole sprayer is being coated in Roar, but the aluminum is the Roar Alumicoat. Everything else is going to be the agriculture coating. I think we almost have 100 hours in this thing. It's wild. So I guess I'll give you a tour. Hey guys, I hope you liked the content. I hope you liked the video. Like and subscribe and leave comments, ask questions, interact with us if you want to see more.